comments at all? Public comments? All right. Agenda, any additions or deletions? Excuse me. Now we need to move in second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item, Mr. Bethune, are going to present us with our audit, my favorite time of the year.
Right.
So without further ado, appreciate you coming in.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, members of the City of Croswell City Council. I'm pleased to have this opportunity to speak with you tonight concerning the audit report for the fiscal year ended June 30, 2014. We found that the city's accounting work by Sue Dobson and Sue Valley and staff is good. We noted no material weaknesses or problems with current processes and procedures. During the audit fieldwork this year, I did spend some time with your new ambulance director, Tim Negermeyer. We discussed some ideas about improving the ambulance billing and account receivable collection reporting process. So how we can get some better reports designed in the format that we request for the audit, so that we can have some auditable account receivable records, so we can track through from the billing process all the way to the ultimate disposal of those receivables that have either been collected, adjusted off for one reason or another, and we're bad debt. Okay? So Tim right now is working with the software company on that and a new reporting process. Hopefully we get that going next year. Kind of excited about that idea. It was nice to be able to talk with Tim, and he's enthused about actually helping out and making this work for us together. Overall, the audit went very smooth and we had no difficulty completing our work. The city staff was very helpful and cooperative in every way. I want to review the report just briefly with you. You have this is the basic report, and we also did a single audit report because the city expended more than $500,000 of federal money, basically the money you get through the state and so forth is federal money. And, the city is in full compliance with all the requirements of the state of Michigan and the GASB and so forth. Just want to point out a few things in the report, and of course, if any questions you have, you can jump in anytime. On page 7, I noticed that the under governmental activities, you know that property taxes and state share revenues are your major source of revenue there. The property tax revenue last year was $637,000 approximately, compared to $712,000 the prior year. So there was a decrease there. That was attributable to the fact that the taxable SCD was down by 8%. Hopefully that's bottomed out, so we'll see that going back up. The other revenue, main revenue in governmental, is state shared revenues from sales tax, and that this year was $270,000 compared to $272,000. A small $2,000 decrease, not too big. A lot of communities were seeing that number go up on the state share revenue, so I don't know why it went down. It's based on manufacturers, population being one of them, I think. Page 13, here we see the balance sheets for the governmental funds. The city has one, page 13, you have basically one major fund, which is the general fund. At the end of the year there with $468,000 in fund balance, and at that point in time, that represents about 33% of your annual expenditure budget. So 33%, you probably don't want to be any lower than that. Last year, it did go up by about 58,000. Here we see the statement of revenues and expenses and changes in net position, fund positions for the proprietary type funds, enterprise, ambulance, electric, sewer, water, enterprise fund revenues, all had operating income when we look there at the bottom on page 19, except for the ambulance. There was an experience of an operating loss of $65,000, better than the prior year's loss of $96,000, but still was a loss. Revenues from ambulance charges was up about $50,000, so that's good. We saw an increase there. Then number 2 here, the CD. I wanted to mention that for the electric fund, the profits there were actually down about $175,000 from the prior year. And a lot of that was attributable to more costs for power. The cost of power was about 69% of sales compared to about 61% in the prior year. So all of a sudden now the cost of power has gone up quite a bit. And I know that's complicated as to how we charge you for different types of users and all that. So that would be worth taking a look at to see how that had to be like that. And I just wanted to move ahead into the notes on page 40 again. I wanted to mention something about the pension plan. As you know, that plan is about 58% funded. It's there under unfunded pension. The other number was the payroll that was covered. So that 58 is compared to about 57% prior year. So it's not really going too fast. And then the other liability you have is on the next page. We talked there about the OPEB liabilities. Of course, that plan, as you know, is not funded at all. And the actuaries have figured that liability, the total actuarial accrued liability at about $836,000. So that's still there. On that OPEB, the retirees' health insurance that you promised to pay. You are paying premiums. Last year you paid $29,000 for retiree health insurance. If you were funding it into a trust, you'd have to put away $78,000. So you'd have to put in another $50,000. You'd have to put into a trust if you were going to fund it according to a regular plan. It would take about 30 years to get it.
Question for you. So the new GASB requirements that require us to put these unfunded liabilities on our balance sheet, that's going to be for next year?
That's next year. That's
Okay.
effective for next year.
So just for conversation, can we go to maybe an example? We're looking at 3.7 and 800, so we're looking at almost $5 million.
Yeah, right.
So is it going to show us in the hole then for?
Yeah, because if we go back to your government-wide statement over on the front, I took a look at that today and I'm thinking, oh, I'll probably ask about that. So you have under governmental activities on page 10, the whole unrestricted net position is only 91,000 according to that. Of course, in governmental, and then you have 3.4 under the business. But see, some of that liability will be in the business activities,
Right.
and maybe a lot of it will be. Could that be all your electric workers and DPW type under governmental? I'm not sure. Maybe the police would be. Police most likely would be in that. And so, yeah, I mean, we could end up with, as a result of reporting somebody's liability on the books, a big deficit there down in that position. You wouldn't be the only one.
Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty consistent.
I mean, it'll probably show up under long-term liability. Now, there's going to be a different way of measuring that liability, though, next year.
Right.
It's not going to be the same measurement method used. So what they're going to do is figure out what So we don't know what that's gonna be looking like, but, the actuaries, they're working on that right now. I'm sure, they're gonna come up with some numbers soon for us, but they have to have them next year by June 30.
So even if we were to, we've discussed the option of bonding out again for that 3.7, even if we were to do that, it'd still be listed under debt service as a liability, so it's
Yeah.
6 1, half dozen the other.
Yeah. Apparently there's, we were talking about this, the idea that you can go get bonds, the
Right.
state has allowed that. And I think there's only, what I heard, there was only one governmental unit in Michigan that did that.
Yeah.
That was Saginaw County.
Well, I wouldn't do it for healthcare at all, I would do it for pension, I mean, that's a guarantee, healthcare can change tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
Okay, all right, thanks, I just wanted to ask where that would go, but it
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, appreciate that.
Okay.
But we had some good luck working with Tim as far as. Good.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. I know we can get kind of a better idea of where we sit.
Yeah. We're gonna hope for some good things. While he's trying to get this figured out, I'll be on call if he wants to work with me. I know he's working the same on the receivable record right now.
But all in all, I mean, aside from our, unfunded stuff, I mean, are we sitting pretty okay as
Oh,
compared to
yeah,
a lot
if
of
you were just looking at your funds and what you have fund balances and your, and your business type funds, no problem. The only, state issue is the unfunded, benefit program.
Right.
That's really the only problem that I can see in financials.
Well, we've done some things to kind of hopefully mitigate that. We've, our last union contract, we had employees put in some additional funds. We didn't decrease ours to match that. We kept ours up and then we added that in there with the hopes of getting.
So we might start to see some results on the actuaries are always probably behind us in terms of what they report here.
Right.
And
What would be interesting is if we determine an appropriate amount of fund balance that we should have, anything above that, we can look at either, wage increases and, dumping some into that too. I think it's, ideally you want at very least 20% of funds.
We've been seeing like the 35%. And of course, it depends on what your fiscal year is.
Right.
Here we're talking June 30, so you don't really get your property tax then until December.
Right.
So you have to look at that issue. You have to have the cash flow to get to, in December before you get any more tax money. So you have to look at cash flow in connection with that fund balance and see if that's enough to get us through. I think your 33% is
As low as we want to go. Right.
what we.
Agreed, yeah. Okay. All right, thank you. So, I need a motion to receive and file, okay, accept the audit.
So moved. Second.
Okay, roll call.
Bachman. Yes. Willis.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Geiger.
Yes.
McDonald.
Yes, thank you again, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great evening. Okay, correspondence, there's none. Administrator's report, we got a lengthy email from Sam, touching on some issues. Anything to add? Okay.
We should hear back in January for that MDOT grant that we applied for. That sent us an email last week saying in January is the decision we made. We asked some more questions, so I think that's positive.
Did you get the truck accident in there as part of the grant?
I emailed it out, but I don't think it's
I don't mean to laugh about it by any means, but I mean, here we are trying to redo that thing and get the roll over.
We have several vehicles that we need to sell, and we've been going around in circles figuring out how to do it. I think we're going to stick with what we've traditionally done. It's a kind of a, we're going to try it this way, and then the next round, if we feel this wasn't enough exposure, then maybe we'll try to do something online with auction. But I think vehicle sales wise, we'll stick with what we've been doing, just do a little bit more online ads.
Well, and then with that, I mean, there's
gonna be exactly the same ad that's in the paper, just on Craigslist.
Okay.
So,
Anyone have any questions about any other matters or anything like that? Okay, thanks, Aaron. Council member report, my leave's been getting picked up, per the schedule, so I'm a happy guy. I don't know about the rest of the neighborhoods, but I think they're doing a pretty good job of getting out there when they can, weather's cooperating, and leaves are falling off quickly. I'd like to commend the electric department, again, they were called for a second time, over into Lexington, to, take care of an issue, in DT's territory. Wire fell in a house, and the house was on fire. So Troy and Chris were able to come over in the dead of night and come over and cut the wire safely. Just goes to show you how, collaborative, we are here. So I'm very impressed with those guys and, want to commend them, so. I'd like to thank Sam too for, answering the phone in the middle of the night and, authorizing that, so. Good job. Other than that, I'm good. Mary?
Basically, I'm gonna say the same thing. I had a Halloween party scheduled with the cannery for however many people, 60 plus showed up. And, the lights went out 15 minutes before it was supposed to start. I called Sam, he came right over, told me what he'd done. And they came on 5 minutes before I put the last chair away, so, around 8 o'clock, but they were really right there. I mean, I had no complaint. They were there, and I mean, they were already done for the day.
Well, in that regard, the individuals who were working on those lines was Kevin Gardner and Jack Williams.
No, I
And
thank
in
them,
addition to
because-
those guys, so Jack, we owe him a giant credit or debt of gratitude, for helping us out. Retired guy coming back.
I cannot tell you how dark that building is when there's no lights in it. It is downright spooky.
Well, see, it was a canning haunted house.
Yeah, it sure was. But they were, I mean, literally, I don't think it was 15 minutes, and I had Sam was at my office, and it was immediate. And of course, there's only 2 people on the line. It was me and Paramount. Is that it? Am I right?
there was, and some street lights and some other stragglers.
Right. But you look out the back door, and all the power, it was everything along Samway Street's lit up and was dark as dark can be. So it was kind of crazy, but it was they were very, very prompt, and I was very pleased.
Good, well, thanks.
That's all I have.
Okay. Pat?
How long does the leaf pickup schedule run for? Till the leaves are all done?
Just more leaves or there's
There's snow on top of it.
So there's no set time, no, like a month?
No, I think traditionally it's always just been first significant snowfall that can't stop.
So you got some time, get ready. Okay, anything else?
I don't have any trees that lose leaves.
See, if you leave them around long enough the whole year, or until the end of the season, they just blow in the neighbor's yard.
They got too many hedges on either side.
Randy just mows them. That's all he does.
Oh, I do.
They much dirt. Fine.
Helps the crabgrass grow in the spring.
Exactly.
Okay,
Goes in.
thanks. Rob? Okay, Cindy?
Just another question on the streetlights in the main part of town. And I don't know if I asked it correctly last week, is there a way to make them brighter? Like, is there brighter bulbs that can be put in them? Because even though, on Wells Street, I'm talking right down Main Street, like when you pull in like tonight, it's dark, even the lights back here.
Well, there's
It's
something
dark.
wrong with these lights here in the parking lot.
They're running about half as bright as they
Yeah,
usually
these
do.
ones aren't, they're not, there's something wrong, they're working on them.
Okay, and on Main Street, like, before the old lights, and I know there's a huge difference in cost, but the old lights, there was a light on the west side of the street, you could see everything still on the east side of the street, and now they're dimmer, they're not as bright as the other ones were, and it just looks, and not even an aesthetic thing, it's more about a safety issue.
You talking about the ones downtown?
Yeah, like they just, when you pull into town, when you come off Gage Street, because our streetlights are the old, real
Right.
bright streetlights. So when you come into town, our whole part of town over here is brighter than our main street. Like some of our side streets that still have the older lights.
Hmm.
So I was just wondering if there, and I know there's been other people talking about it, so I'm just kind of bringing it up. Is there some way to make, is there brighter bulbs that can be put in those, or?
I'll have to ask, I'm not sure,
Okay.
so I'll look into it.
That's the only question I have.
Okay, thanks. All right, item on unfinished business, we have the electric /water supervisor. contact you guys and then, for email, this is the amended contract, and what we had discussed last time is, essentially what was put in, so,
Yeah, I sent an email out, and I don't know if everyone got it or not. If you got a draft of this and it had red on it, that was completely the wrong draft.
I didn't get any emails.
So,
yes,
that one, because I don't know how I clicked on the wrong attachment, that was the wrong draft, that was what I.
So the stuff that's in this one.
This is essentially exactly what you directed at the last council meeting to do. There's a little bit of grammar and some title changes and things, but overall, it's essentially the same agreement that
So the storm pay rate was on the last one?
was on the last one, for if he's assisting another
And
entity,
who pays the storm rate?
the other
This,
entity
the
pays.
other entity
Yeah,
pays it?
yeah, that's like when we go to Thumb Electric for storm work, they pay wages and benefits.
So we pay, and then they reimburse, or,
Yeah, we basically, we invoice them.
you know, what DTE,
Yeah. That was gonna, you got the contact for Steve to.
so the thing in here about, not working the weekends?
That's gone. That was a big, no. With some other choice words.
Okay. And Starmer's looked at it, and his, everyone has tried to change it.
They both get paid.
So Troy has said he does
Yeah,
not
Troy
want,
was in my office last Friday.
and said he did not want.
Okay, I will entertain a move and second.
Make a motion to accept the agreement.
Second.
Do a roll call vote on it?
Butler,
Yes.
Willis,
Yes.
Bachler, no, Geiger,
Yes.
McMillan,
Yes.
4 yeas, 1 nay.
Okay. This is proper, was there any discussion you want to have, Cindy, on it, or?
No, I just, when I talked to Sam before, we had talked, and John was not interested in it at all. And then Troy suggested he was interested in it, and then all of a sudden John became interested in it, and Kevin I thought was interested in it. And then I hear that Troy was still interested in it, that's why I wanted to clarify that Troy
Troy-
actually said he
And
did
Troy-
not
Troy
want.
and John basically sat down, because I directed them, it's gonna be one or the other. Like, you just sit down and figure out what you believe is best, and that's what they chose.
So you made those two choose between one or the other, who was
Yeah.
gonna do it? It
This
wasn't,
basically, yeah, they basically, I told them what the scenario was, what was happening, who had applied, who was the top two candidates, and left it up to them.
well, I voiced my concerns with
Yeah.
you, so you were aware of all of that. And
understand.
I just, and like I said, I just wanted to clarify that the other one had said he was not interested, because I had heard opposite, so.
But at one point Troy said he wasn't interested either, and then he changed his mind, so, I mean, I think it
Yeah, they both
it's
went.
fluctuated out,
Last
right,
year.
for the last year, it's been back and forth, so, I mean, they both have said, no, they didn't, yes, they did, so, I mean,
Well, I just wanted to make sure that as of today, Troy was positively not interested in it, that he wasn't just looked over.
Yeah, it was
And then even Kevin Gardner, he was interested.
All those in favor? He's out, got my mouth for you, doesn't he? Final pay on, for the road project was 30, this is a holdback for 30,000. Are we happy with where we're at?
Yeah, we're at the next bill outstanding is the spicy bill, that's the one.
That's the one we're not happy
That's the
about?
one we're gonna put our gloves on and go with that one.
Okay. I don't mind. Okay. So you move and support, second? Excuse me.
second.
Okay, move and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is the resolution to opt out of Public Act 152 of 2011. This is something we've done for the past couple of years. This is the healthcare cap and or, there's the cap, there's the hard cap, there's the 80/20, or there's the option. For our union agreement, historically we have opted out because the agreement that we did make with the union saves us money, even though it may put us over the cap or the 80/20, we feel it's beneficial for our employees to have decent healthcare.
So moved.
Okay. I'll second. Any discussion on this? You understand, Cindy, where we're at with this, kind of, sort of?
Yeah, I understand kind of the opt-out, we talked about it
Okay.
in January, so.
Want to make sure.
Yeah,
that you understand what we're doing here and
So, thank
kind of
you.
the history behind it. Okay. All right, I will need a roll call vote then, please.
Butler,
Yes.
McMillan,
Yes,
Willis,
Yes.
Bachler,
Yes.
Geiger,
Yes.
5 yeas.
thank you very much. Okay, and item D under new business is the Habitat for Humanity tap-in fee. It appears they're requesting to be in the same line as the,
Well, they sent a letter today, that's, over here. It's a consistent fee, because I believe they're going to do another house or two in the community, so it'd be nice to set a precedent for what this fee would be.
Why do we have such a range of fees anyway?
this is like your Waterloo, isn't it? You just.
I've never understood why we have this hugely discounted rate for subdivisions when every single person in town pays.
I think historically, the reason that subdivisions have been done differently is they usually, when they're put in, they're all put in at the same time. The infrastructure for it and then the tapping. I'm assuming that's why they've done it here. That's what most communities do.
Well, it was to spur development, back when they were developing. I know, like, Bisbee said, I'll put in the road and the storm sewer and give me a sweet deal on tapping. That's, I'm gonna end my comments there. About the sweet road and sweet storm sewer. But I'm not,
I just didn't understand it when I put my house in. I'm like, why is there this roller coaster of amounts here? It should be, I'm building a house in the city, he's building a house in the city. What makes it different if he's up there and I'm down here? Should be the same amount of money.
I think if we're gonna do something like this in the future, we should probably look at, if you go through and put all the taps in right away, yeah, you get the discounted rate. But if it's this piecemeal, kind of thing.
Still gotta dig it up, still gotta do it, if it's
Well,
up there.
Like in Whiskey's, he did put the road in there. Now Hannah, he didn't put a road in, he didn't, I imagine they probably paid to have the sewer and water run down it, but the home.
We're at the end of the road there, it goes from main to small, and everybody going north has to have a septic. Because it's not the same line, it's not big enough line. Yet we paid more money for sewer tap. That's what I just don't understand.
I'm not gonna argue with you on that one. I'm not gonna argue with
I
that.
just don't get it.
Maybe we should look at that before we have another subdivision, or maybe we should look at it and maybe adjust those fees.
Well, I think we do it if you're gonna do it all at once, maybe
Yeah,
it's
that
not
makes
great.
sense, you're gonna go through and put in 25 taps, that would be great.
Habitat for Humanity is a nonprofit, correct?
Yeah, right. Yeah, if they're gonna build a house in your neighborhood for low-income folks, or, any folks, I have no problem with that, because they need to mitigate their costs.
How are they funded, do you know anybody?
Several different sources. They get some grant money, donations, and then,
United Way is what Sean told me.
yeah, United Way. And then they are somewhat self-financed too, because the homes aren't given to the people, they're given to them with like a 30-year mortgage or zero
Right.
interest, so that money comes back.
They solicit funds. They're pretty robust fundraising. So, people are on board here, I would take a move second.
So does everybody feel we should be waiving fees or doing the reduced fees?
I think the reduced fees is appropriate. It costs, it's still a cost associated with doing it. We're talking, 700 versus 300 on that, and then sewer is 1,500 to 300. I think that it's a pretty
Discount.
depends.
City
Every
doesn't
tap is situational.
City
Some
doesn't
taps
dig
are
it.
in and out in an hour, other taps it takes 10 hours, it
The
just depends
contractor
on.
digs to the city line, and then the city puts it in. It's not like the city digging from the house.
Yeah, it's just that like
It's just, the
tapping.
contractor digs to the road.
Yeah.
And then
So
they-
are we talking like a half a day, couple?
Everyone's, it's situational, normally it could be an hour, it could be 10 hours, it depends. Like the last one we did took way longer than it should have, because they had a faulty band for the pipe, and they actually had to go give band, I think, from San Juan.
That was something that had nothing to do with.
It wasn't anything to do with that
Then you
situation,
mentioned
it was a
fix
faulty
anyway.
piece of equipment, so we had to do what we needed to do.
I mean, you know, realistically, tap demand is good build houses. I think Santa Claus can come to our house if we don't move to this. I'm kidding, but I can see, you know, we certainly not in a, you know, it should cover costs in a reasonable amount of fashion.
Because it's a nonprofit, I will make a motion that we reduce their fees.
Reduce the fees down to what they.
Down to what they-
Like
yeah,
300 and the 300.
300, and then the 175 stays the same.
Okay. Your roll call vote, please.
Willis,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Geiger,
Yes.
Bachler,
Yes.
McMillan,
Yes.
5 yeas.
Okay, thank you.
Now, can we look into, is that specifically for this one here? Or is this going to be, if they want to come in and put 20 houses in, will this take care of the next 20 houses, or will
If they're
this
gonna
come
come in and
back?
put 20 houses in, I think we're gonna have a sit down and we'll have a different deal.
And can we address this?
Come in.
Can we have it, something done with this to, like, for the subdivisions? Because I kind of agree with them.
Yeah.
Our taxpayers, we have to pay for everything, we don't get a
Yeah, I'm
break,
gonna go back and
so.
look to see if we have contractual agreements or what historically why we came to those numbers, so I'll have to look that up.
Well, it's our biggest one.
Any public comments?
How could you change June and that?
Okay.
No public comments.
I do want to say something real quick here. I like the new papers, the new overtime report, so much easier to read.
One sheet.
Yeah, and, a question on the ordinance meetings, do you know when we're going to start them, or?
Emails to coordinate times everybody can meet.
All right, approval of accounts payable.
Can you find like a holiday in for these counties?
Where's he staying?
Family, Grand Island.
Problem is, it's cheaper to stay there on the state dime than it is, in a holiday inn. I stayed at the Grand, it was, that's a bad example. Stayed at the H Hotel in Midland, which is normally, you know, $2 something a night, it was $75 a night, when you get these conferences. Grand was lower, but it's still cheaper than Woodland. And that was not a city dime, I will admit. That was for memories, yeah.
This isn't real.
Well, it's real. This is like working for you, this is like working for Habitat for Humanity. Okay.
I'll make a motion that we pay the bills in the amount of $456,805.05